my God, bro. Charles and I are so back. We went in there. We won this BMF bout. We dominated Max Holloway for over 5 rounds. Me and Charles are the BMF champion, bro. Baddest motherfucker in the sport. I don't care what nobody says. I know y'all are saying he doesn't deserve it to be called BMF. We're going to break that down. What's up, guys? As always, this is Hard Takes MMA, coming to you with the realest UFC takes in the game, bro. Full bias, full opinions. I got all of that shit, bro. And me and Charles are so back, bro. I know everyone's comparing this to DDP and Hamza. Everyone's comparing this to Islam and JDM, where they're saying it was a boring fight where they just laid and prayed for 25 minutes. Charles didn't do that, bro. Everyone saying Charles ain't this, Charles ain't that, Charles ain't no BMF, Charles a fake. Shut the fuck up. Yo, casuals ain't no shit. The fucking motherfucker talking shit about Charles, I'm beating their ass. No, I had with Lil Reese in Bro, I'm just kidding. But I will break that down because Charles is way better in this sense than Islam or Hamza. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that, bro. So the difference between Charles and them is that Charles was always advancing. Charles was always active. Charles was always doing stuff. He wasn't just holding him down and laying and praying like we saw Raul Rosas Jr. do, like we saw Islam do, like we saw Hamzat do. And here is why, bro. Charles would take him down. He'd land in full guard and land in half guard. If he landed in full guard, he'd transition to half guard and then transition to full mount or get on his back. He was always going for rear naked chokes. He was always going for guillotines. He was always going for arm triangles. He's always trying to get Max out of there. He'd get in the body triangle. He'd get up on him. Charles has one of the best, if not the best, body triangles in the game. Charles was always going for that finish, bro. That's why he's a bad motherfucker. Max is too good to get out of there, bro. It's hard to finish Max. Unless you can knock him out, it's hard to finish him. He did have good submission defense, did awful takedown defense. And that's what won Charles' fight. Now, I know a lot of people were comparing this to the Brian Ortega versus Max Holloway fight, in a way that Brian Ortega is also an elite grappler like Charles Oliveira. But Brian Ortega, he's only good at the jiu-jitsu part. He's not good enough at takedowns to get Max Holloway down. But here's why Charles is good at takedowns, because he doesn't just grab their legs and try to tackle them down. He actually picks them up and slams them. And that's why Max Holloway couldn't do anything. Charles is bigger. Charles is stronger, bro. Charles has more, like, distance in his arms. His arms are longer. That's what that meant, bro. I don't know what I'm geeking. But his arms are longer. He's able to just pick Max up, slam him down, sometimes land on full guard, sometimes land in half guard. And then he was always advancing, landing devious elbows. Charles was a badass motherfucker in that fight. I don't care what nobody says. Charles isn't scared of anybody. He'll fight anybody at any time. Give him the Armand rematch, 5 rounds. We and Charles are the baddest motherfuckers in the sport, bro. Tired of Charles saying, everyone, this is the official Charles Oliveira apology tour. Everyone needs to say sorry to Charles. They said he wouldn't do it. They said he'd get knocked out. And I know people are complaining, saying there wasn't no striking, but the BMF title isn't the Muay Thai title. It's not the kickboxing title. There is no contractual agreement that you have to just stand and bang, no grappling. If there was, then this would deserve hate, but there's not. There's not even an informal agreement. There's nothing that's been said about that. The baddest motherfucker is about going in there and about taking anyone out at any means. And if Max Holloway isn't good enough to defend Charles' takedowns, then how is he the baddest motherfucker in the sport, bro? The baddest motherfucker in the sport wouldn't let someone take them down at will, dominate them on the ground. And Charles was beating him on the feet, too. And Charles did the point down thing in the last 10 seconds, and he beat Max Holloway. That's a signature move. That is Max Holloway's signature move. And Charles went in there, and he beat him in that. He cracked Max with that counter uppercut. Max, I don't even think landed a shot in that. Charles throughout the fight had more damage. He looked better on the feet. Charles won every exchange they had and got takedowns at will. I think it was more of a 50-43 than a 50-45. Either way, Max Holloway couldn't do anything against Charles. Charles redeemed himself in every way. Everyone's picking Holloway to win, myself included, but I saw Charles won, it'd be like this, and that's what Charles did. Charles doesn't always stick to the best game plan he should, because he's just a marauder. He's always walking forward. He's always going for the kill. He takes risks. He lets himself get hit. But this time he played it how he should. He played it smart, and we're going on a second title run. But moving up the card, we had Kyle Brahalio versus Rainer de Ritter. This fight was a little better than I thought it would. I thought Caio would try to hold him down in the same way that Raul Rosas Jr. held down Rob Font. But Caio was taking the striking, I think because Reinier de Ridder is just so good on the ground, and Caio is better than him at striking, and he knew he was better than him at striking. He did not respect Reinier de Ridder's striking at all. He was just going in there, landing combinations, doing damage. Reinier de Ridder did give him a few good cuts and bruises. Caio Borralho definitely looked more beat up after the fight. But I think a 30-27 is legit. I think a lot of people are arguing that Reinier de Ridder won round 1 and round 2. And I could see giving him round 2, but I think Caio Borralho definitely won round 1 and 3. He looked way better on the feet. And he called out DDP. We'll see if they give it to him. I think they're going to give Brendan Allen the DDP. So I'm not sure who they give Caio Borralho. But he's not my favorite fighter. I always kind of end up rooting for him in fights. Like, I always say I don't like him that much, but then when he fights, I'm kind of rooting for him. Maybe it's just because I don't really care about the guy he's been fighting. I don't give a fuck about Imavov. I'm not a huge RDR guy. I know RDR has a large cult following, so y'all can hate me for saying that. But I like RDR. I root for him against most people, but I didn't really care about him, bro. Like, I kind of was rooting for Caio to win. And I'm not even a big Caio fan, so. But Caio went in there. He said he was going for the knockout. I believe him, but he couldn't get him out of there. I think Reinier de Ridder would be better if he just didn't fight as often. If he went down to 3 fights a year, if he went down to 2 fights a year, I think he could be a problem. But he's going in there, he's getting his bag, and he is really good. So we'll see what's next for Reinier de Ridder. Hope he can turn this around after his 2-fight losing streak that he's on. After that, we did have Raul Rosas Jr. versus Rob Font, and that went exactly the way I said it would. I said Raul Rosas Jr. was going to win a boring decision where he just held him down the whole time, and that's what happened. Everyone was saying Dan Ige had a really good defense. Everyone said Dan Ige would just kill him on the feet, and neither of those turned out to be the case. Raul Rosas Jr. just bullied him, bro. Just got takedowns at will. Rob Font couldn't do anything. Raul Rosas is just so much stronger than him. He was able to take him in there and hold him down the whole time. Fight before that, we did have the banger that was Drew Dober versus Michael Johnson. Bro, Drew Dober did exactly what I thought he did. I remember Michael Johnson, he dominated the first round, bro. And for whatever reason, I just had this feeling, I had this gut feeling that Drew Dober was about to knock him out. I don't know why. The second round first started, I'm like, bro, Drew Dober's a plus 600. I need to throw $10 on him. Free $60. I'm like, I just got this feeling he's about to knock out Michael Johnson. That's just such what this fight was in my head, bro. I think Michael Johnson's better, but he just has no chin, bro. Glass chin. Drew Dober hits so hard too, bro. Michael Johnson's a minority. You know what Drew Dober is. He just looks racist, bro. And I don't think anyone can crack Drew Dober's chin, bro. Drew Dober, just the size of his head, bro. No one can knock out Drew Dober. I don't even think Ilia Topuria can knock out Drew Dober. Though he would destroy him in a fight. But y'all know what I mean, bro. Michael Johnson looked good. Drew Dober just knocked him out because he has no chin. I don't know what's nice for either of these guys. I can see them trying to move Drew Dober into the top 15 again. Maybe give him a ranked fight. Maybe put him up there if somebody loses. We'll see if they just give it to him off this win. I don't think they should. I can see them giving him Jalen Green. And we'll see what's nice for Michael Johnson too. But before that, we did have Gregory Rodriguez getting revenge. Knocked him out stiff in the exact same way. Gregory Rodriguez, he looked really good. He looked strong. And I'm ready to see him get a top 10 matchup. Maybe even a top 8 matchup. I could see them giving him RDR. I could see them giving him kind of whoever, bro. I just want to see Gregory Rodriguez fight, bro. I love RoboCop. RoboCop, he went in there and he looked so good. He got his revenge and he knocked him out cold, bro. Knocked him out stiff. And next fight that happened before that, I guess, was Cody Garbrandt versus Zhang Lao. It was a very disappointing way for Cody Garbrandt to win. I know I predicted him to win, so good for me. I got that pick right. I actually nailed the picks. I was like, I believe 7 for 9, but it might have been 8. I might have been 8 for 9. I don't know. I don't know if you want to count me saying the Drew Dober and Michael Johnson would go like that, because I did say Drew Dober by KO or Michael Johnson by decision, but ultimately I picked Michael Johnson. Didn't bet on it though, so either way, didn't win or lose money on that. I'm just gonna give myself 8 out of 9. I killed that prediction. A lot of people did. It's kind of a predictable card. But yeah, I did good. I did solid. Definitely did better on picks than Dustin Poirier. I don't know if y'all saw that, but he like picked every fight wrong, dog. It was wild. But yeah, Cody Garbrandt won by absorbing nut shots. It's the first time we've seen someone puke in the octagon and the fight keep going on afterwards. So good on Cody Garbrandt for holding it out. I know he's getting hate online for just running away after going up 2 points, but like, gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Like, if they were in there, they would have done the same thing. I know Cody Garbrandt felt like shit after that, and he was able to keep going. Even if he was just running away, he stayed in there. He absorbed a lot of damage. His chin looked good. But he's striking just did not look good. He's so fast. I don't understand how he doesn't land more shots. He had bad head move with this fight, too. He did take a couple good shots. That head kick in the first round almost took him out of there, but he kept going. And, yeah, that's that. Montez looked really good. Montez is one of my new favorite prospects. I did pick him to win. Say he was an exciting fighter. He was getting some hate online. He's on fought for a while, but he killed it in this fight. Tumandrumble, our boy Ark, went in there and got it done. Didn't look super impressive, but he did get it done. And overall, this card was a mixed bag. It had a lot of good fights, a lot of boring fights. Charles Oliveira won, bro. I really wish Charles won in the first round. I thought he was going to. I was so hyped. Then he just couldn't get him out of there. I wish Charles won the first round so he wouldn't get this hate he's having right now. But Charles is going to go in there. He's going to keep fighting. He's going to keep winning. I think he's going a little run right now. I think if Ilya vacates, then Charles can totally be champion again. And I really hope that happens. But that's my breakdown of that's my breakdown of UFC 326. I hope y'all liked it. I hope y'all enjoyed the pay-per-view. If y'all don't stop talking shit about my boy Charles, I'm going to be pissed off. But as always, this is Hard Takes MMA. Keep watching the fights. Let me know in the comments if you think Charles deserves the BMF label. And as always, stay hard.
Got a private jet, but I stay up in the shadows. They not in the city, yeah, I'm winning all the battles. I'm a billionaire, boy, go check the tag bucket. Black on black suit, yeah, custom made jacket.